And now under this new so-called trade deal and guest worker program, they're going to give them all blanket amnesty, whether they're from Russia or Mexico or China, it doesn't matter. In fact, they say that the high-tech job layoffs to India are going to get 7 times worse than they already are. We're not going to have any jobs left. And that's exactly what the elite want. They want a race to the bottom, everybody making $5 an hour. That's what the establishment wants, and we don't want any part of it. We don't want any part of this. We want Mexico to fix its problems. We want Latin America to fix their problems and get their corrupt dictators and their plutocrats like Mr. Fox out of office so that they can have a free society and a real economy. There are over 6.5 billion people on the earth, and they're all trying to come here. There's over 140 million new births each year. We can't handle those numbers in this country. We can't handle 30 million people that'll work for $3 an hour. It's destroying all of the jobs that put people through college and allow us to have a good standard of living. Whether you're a Hispanic doctor or a white truck driver or a black school teacher, it hurts all Americans. And 87% of the American people in major Gallup polls are sick of this open border and are sick of all the illegal aliens being used by the big fat cats to drive down wages. NAFTA and GATT and now the Free Trade Group of the Americas admit it is about destroying the middle class. It is about a race to the bottom, turning us all into feudal serfs on this global plantation. And the people of Texas, the people of America are sick of it.
Yeah!
It's Alex Jones.
Alex, where are you from?
Austin.
Austin, Texas. You had a lot to say in that. Take a deep breath and explain to me as concisely as you can. What do you think is happening? What do you think is happening with this trade deal and this talk about guest worker program?
Well, they've told us in their white papers, the Republicans, the Democrats, the big tax-free foundations, the big corporations have all said that we want this cheap labor. We want highways from Chile all the way up to Alaska. We want to get rid of borders, have a type of world ID card that'll be run through via our passports with the same identification number and the same prefix, a face scan and thumb scan. So we're seeing a regionalization here, just like the European Union started 50 years ago as a steel deal. They don't tell you that globalism and getting rid of sovereignty is the end of your country on the face of it. They call it trade deals. But what is it where as a citizen, I've got Homeland Security and the Total Information Awareness Network looking at all my personal data, the grocery stores are spying on us, all this big, TIPS program, Police State Patriot Act, and then illegal aliens, they're saying, we'll just accept your matricula cards when it's been proven that anybody can go out and get 10 or 15 of these things that they want. On top of it, we have over 800 cities, 4 or 5 states, and now others piling on, saying we will accept Mexican ID cards, we will issue illegals with any type of fake ID, their own ID, then they can get on welfare. It's just horrible. So across the board, it's destroying our society, and it's meant to balkanize, it's meant to destroy the sovereignty of Mexico, Canada, the U.S. This is a giant merger under this global corporate structure, and they say this is how they want it. They just want a mass of workers, a huge underclass, like they have in Mexico, that is administered by this tiny elite. And that's what Vicente, Fox, and the rest of them are here doing. That's what George W. Bush said he wanted right before September 11th, was to get rid of our borders, have blanket amnesty. And that's what's in NAFTA and GATT and now the Free Trade Group of the Americas, bringing in the Caribbean. It's about allowing anyone and everyone right into this country. It's amazing.
What do you think about this idea of a guest worker program? This is something that was used 50 years ago. Do you think that in a narrow scope would be all right?
If it was actually a guest worker program for the 30 million people that are here.
Right.
But what it says is if you get here illegally, we'll let you now enroll in the guest worker program. So what that is a carte blanche legalization, a huge amnesty saying if you can get here from Calcutta, or if you can get here from Beijing, or if you can get here from Mexico City, or if you can get here from Guatemala City, you're here to stay. And by the way, we'll let you have a driver's license under any fake name you want, and now you can get all the welfare and the bank accounts and the rest of it, while all our states are going bankrupt, while the deficit is exploding at record levels. But there's a bigger corporate move here. There's over 20,000 soldiers in Iraq right now, according to the Washington Post, who were illegal aliens. They're allowing illegal aliens to join the military and then afterwards get their citizenship. So what is this, Joseph Stalin or something? Stalin allowed the prisoners out of jail, put them in the front lines, allowed people to come in from other countries to fight. This is a very, very dangerous trend. So again, it's about creating kind of a Tower of Babel where none of us can communicate with each other, where it causes all of these different divides. We've always been a country of immigrants, but it was hundreds of thousands a year. Now it's millions a year, and the government and the media is encouraging these groups, these diverse groups, not to assimilate, to kind of stay in their own little subsections. So we're seeing the fracturing of the American dream and of that melting pot, and that's what's so dangerous. And again, the corporation's own policy reports say that it is about balkanization, that it's about control, that it's about bringing down that middle class, no matter what color you are, into a giant underclass that's more easily controlled.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
What channel are you from? KTRH, Houston.
All right.
Thanks for interviewing me, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is that 700?
Yeah!
Absolutely disgusting. And to have Vicente Fox, this corporate imp of the New World Order, slithering in to the heart of Texas. Makes me want to puke.
Yeah!
Out of control government, one of the most corrupt in the planet.
Go take your gay rights to Mexico, see what happens.
There's civil privileges, not civil rights!
In America, we have liberty and freedom. And in Mexico, or in Russia, or in China, or in India, you can't stand out here and protest and have your First Amendment rights heard.
You can't wave an American flag in Mexico.
That's right, you can't fly an American flag in Mexico. We got these South Texas towns like El Cenizo and others flying the Mexican flag. You're not allowed to speak English in court proceedings. And where's the federal government telling them to stop? They lie! Washington, D.C. and the military-industrial complex are destroying America. They're doing it by design, bringing in the third world populations in mass, on mass, to drive down the wages and to bring in a voting bloc to pull the lever for gun control and more socialism. One of the folks here made a good point. It was in the Times of London a few months ago that they're building a border fence all the way around the country of Afghanistan, putting in tens of thousands of guards, cost billions and billions of dollars. No one can get in or out of Afghanistan without an ID card. And that's so the CIA can control their biggest supply of opium turned into heroin. That's a fact. Our government can pay for a border fence for Afghanistan, but not for America. And again, you try. Sneaking across the border into Mexico. Let them find you there illegally. And see what happens to you when they knock your teeth out. See what happens when they grab your daughters out of the cars and rape them and knock your teeth out. See what happens when you're in a dirt-bottom jail enjoying serfdom and slavery. We don't want to live like slaves. We don't want to live like Russians. We don't want to live like Mexicans. We don't want to live like Nazis. We don't like Adolf Hitler, and we don't like Vicente Fox. The Mexican people are total slaves. I'm not a slave. My family stood up against the Redcoats in 1776, and in the 1830s stood up against the dictator Santa Anna. And we will again stand against the tyranny, and we will defeat the New World Order.
Yeah, make America 1946, didn't they?
You know what? I think most of them really know. I can tell. They
What's
do
the last
know.
time you saw
there,
one
look at-
guy
They
working
know.
in construction?
They know, but they're running for a wage like
Hey, you
all of
guys
us.
got any money in Bamax?
Why are you guys doing this? You know this is wrong.
They're just following orders.
It's not worth a paycheck.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
But you ain't seen my ID, man. You accept that matricular consular? Ha! I got
About every third motor officer in the line of motors over here to the intersection of 10th and Lavaca.
Put in on this shit.
Man, he's lingering long for a nice shot here.
Hey, Vicente, come on out and talk to us! Talk to the American people that you're selling out! You and Perry!
They never forget the collaborators.
We are a sovereign nation. We are not slaves.
Well, how big it in
Mexico is
there?
the second most corrupt country in the world with a tiny elite over a giant poor mass of poor people. We want freedom